Welcome, everybody, to Crystal, Kyle, and Friends. Today is going to be a fun day. We are going to be debating independent journalist Michael Tracy. He is, let's say, not a fan of the Trump indictments.
Yep. He's always quick with a hot Twitter take, so decided we would have a little conversation with him, a little friendly debate over the merits of those indictments.
And as a mega fan of the Trump indictments, I'm very much looking forward to the back and forth.
It should be good.
Let's just say that. Okay, so anyway, we got a lot of stuff to get to today. Before we do, by the way, we'll do some shameless plugs real quick. Everybody do us a huge favor. Sign up on Substack if you haven't yet. I promise you it'll be worth it. You get all of the interviews and debates that we have, and you get it a day early, and everybody else could sign up for free and get the free audio version of the podcast a day later if you sign up on Substack. So definitely check that out if you haven't yet. And much thank you, by the way, to everybody who's already supporting the show. You guys mean the world to us, and we have never had a conversation with an advertiser or a company or anything. It's all funded through small dollar donations, so we deeply, deeply appreciate you. Okay, so here's something that I found rather funny, Crystal. So there was a big article, I forget what outlet it was in. I want to say Huffington Post, or maybe it was a different article. But anyway, Wayne Brady came out as pansexual. Okay. Now, I'm not going to lie. When I first saw the headline and, like, you know, the picture of him being all serious with a smug face on, I was like, okay, dude, who cares? Like, we're so past the I'm coming out thing. It's like, that was so, like, 2011, you know? Like, in the circles we run in, it's like, okay, you're gay. Whoop-de-doo. Like, who cares? You know what I mean?
Yes. Although we should acknowledge that our circles are not representative everywhere in the country and every group.
Yeah, but like 70-some-odd% of the country is like, yeah, of course I'm pro-gay marriage. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So now this is a little different because he says pansexual. For people who don't know, pansexual means like I'm attracted to any and all kinds of people.
Yep.
Right? That's the idea. Now, so I read through the article, though. I was like, all right, let me just read through and see what this says. And by the end of the article, I was actually like, I feel kind of bad for Wayne Brady, and like, because he expresses how he's like never really been comfortable with himself, and he's dealt with like mental health issues, and when he did finally acknowledge to like his ex-wife and people close to him that he was pansexual, I was like, okay, all right, you know, like, cool, got you. Like, it did kind of strike me as like vulnerable of him to admit it, you know? So after I read the article, I had a little bit of a different take than my initial, like, okay, whatever, Wayne, like, who cares, right?
Right. Go live your life. We don't really care.
Well, it appears like Matt Walsh, who spends roughly 85% of his time talking about other people's sexual orientation or gender identity and all stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
It appears like he just saw the headlines, didn't read through the piece, or read through the piece and continued to be incredibly callous. And he gave us this incredibly funny reaction. Watch.
Pick a side. Okay, pick a team. Stop being indecisive. That's what pansexual really is. Aside from made up, it's a lack of commitment. And you know, the thing is, other people, I think, and this will be controversial, but other people have a right to know. Okay, other people have a right to know if they are potential objects of your sexual fantasies. And so that's why it's not fair to walk around and say, oh, I'm attracted to anyone at all. No one's safe. Now, whenever a group if there's like a group of people sitting in a room with Wayne Brady, and it's a diverse group, and you've got like a overweight 65-year-old man, and then you got a young woman and whatever. Everyone's sitting around, and they're all thinking, he could be attracted to any one of us right now.
Okay, so first of all, Matt, I don't think you need to worry much about anybody being attracted to you.
I was going to say, he clearly is not used to the idea of people being potentially attracted.
Okay, unless they have like an Al Borland fetish, in which case it's like, okay, I can see you being attracted to this man, right? But in 99% of cases, they're knocking down your door. Let's be clear.
Don't Borland shame people, Kyle. Not right.
Borland shame people. Second of all, being pansexual doesn't mean I'm literally attracted to everybody I see. That's
right.
Like back in the day when somebody came out as gay and they were like, oh, you must be attracted to me because I'm a man and you're a man, bro. And it's like, no, Todd, you're 312 pounds and you haven't showered in a week. They're not attracted to you specifically. They're attracted to men, but not all men, right? Like Wayne Brady's attracted to all different kinds of people. And by the way, I should be clear, the difference between this and bisexual is that I believe pansexual also includes like, I'm also attracted to trans men and trans women.
Gay,
right?
Straight, gender, whatever.
Right. So like
it's all,
some
it's all a possibility for
in
me.
every category where they would be attracted to. But he seems to misinterpret it as like, you just want to have sex with anybody and everybody.
Well, there's a few things about that I found was noteworthy. First of all, at the beginning when he's like, pick a team, as if we all just go out and like pick what our sexual orientation and preferences are going to be, right? Which I always find a little bit of a tell in terms of what is going on in terms of their own brain and inner life, et cetera. I always find it also very revealing. People like him who seem to be just obsessed with these issues. That's number one. Number two, his next point is, I think we have a right to know whether or not we are a possible object of your sexual fantasies. Okay, well, first of all, you don't. Do we all have to like go out there with like our sexual preferences published so everybody knows?
I'm thinking of doggy style with you. Like, what are you talking about?
A ridiculous idea. But furthermore, isn't Wayne Brady like sort of meeting his criteria here by putting out into the world, like, actually, specifically, I am pansexual. So he is informing you, Matt Walsh, of whether or not you may possibly, theoretically, be an object of his sexual desires. Although, again, to your point, I don't think he has much to worry about here.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't. Why are you so obsessed with other people's sexual orientation and gender identity? And this reminds me of back in the day, every time you get a Republican politician or some priest or something who was anti-gay and then caught blowing some dude, they would always say something that indicates like, well, obviously this is something everybody struggles with.
Right.
And like, only the moral people can reject their impulses. And it's like, I hate to tell it to you guys, but not everybody struggles with these feelings. Some people are just straight. Some people just have a different sexual orientation, or some people just have a different gender identity, and they can't get that through their head. So oftentimes the anti-gay people tell on themselves in that they're really gay, like they're in the closet, but they have this shame over it. Usually they come from a religious household and it's like repressed and like, ooh, don't do that. That's naughty. That's bad. And in the case of him, I don't know. With Steven Crowder, I know for sure. He's like, homeboy dresses up as a woman more than any other supposedly straight cisgender person on the planet, right? And also, he apparently loves to do nut taps 24/7 and put his dick on his...
As a condition of employment. You have to be comfortable with him touching your junk.
Yeah, and there's all these, all the countless specific examples of him like, showing, here's my dick. It's like, clearly that guy's struggling with stuff. Him? I don't know, man. I don't know. All I'll say is a little bit overcompensation, dressing like Al Borland and wearing that thick-ass beard and be, I'm Mr. Manly Man. Let me go play with my tools. I
mean, to me, the eyebrow-raising remarks about, like, pick a team, it's like, you're just being indecisive. Pick a team. It's like, that's not how this works.
Right.
Like, it's not like people are just going out, like, here's my menu of options. I'm going to select what thing I'm going to be into. And so that he would frame it and view it that way, to me, is strange.
Weird guy.
Yes.
Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.